You know what the most quietly painful thing in America right now is? It's sitting at your kitchen table after paying your bills and realizing that even though you paid $200 on your credit card this month, your balance barely moved. You checked the statement. Your minimum payment was $130. You paid $200, and somehow you still owe almost exactly what you did last month. That is not your fault. That is math working against you on purpose. Right now, in 2026, 111 million Americans are stuck in that exact situation. Half of every single credit card holder in this country cannot pay off their balance, and the interest rate coming through their wallets, 21%. This video is about what's actually happening, confirmed by real government data, and the exact steps you can take right now, today, for free, without a lawyer or an accountant, to start climbing out. Let's start with the facts, because the facts here are genuinely shocking. In March 2026, a report dropped from the Century Foundation and Protect Borrowers, two research groups that analyze real consumer credit data. Roughly half of active cardholders and 40% of U.S. adults are unable to pay their credit card bills in full and carry a balance from month to month. That number is 111 million people. That is not a rounding error. That is more people than the entire population of France, Germany, and Canada combined, and that 111 million? It's a 17% jump in just 5 years. In 2021, 95 million people were in this situation. It got worse. It kept getting worse. Now, what about the interest rate? Let's go to the Federal Reserve's own data. The Federal Reserve's G.19 Consumer Credit Report is the most official government source that exists for what banks are actually charging you. For Q1 2026, which is the latest complete quarter available, the rate for all accounts is 21.00%. And for accounts that are actually being charged interest, meaning people who are carrying a balance, it's 21.52%. If you just opened a brand new credit card today, new card offers are averaging 23.79%. To put that in plain English, a mortgage right now is around 6.8%, a car loan about 7.5%, and your credit card, 21% or more. That is 3 times the cost of borrowing money on your home. And look at the total credit card debt sitting on American shoulders. As of Q1 2026, $1.252 trillion. That is the highest credit card debt load this country has ever carried in its entire history, according to the New York Federal Reserve, which has been tracking this number since 1999. I want you to understand something before we go any further. You did not fail at budgeting. You are living in a system where the average cardholder carrying a balance owes $7,886, and the interest on that debt costs more per month than some families spend on groceries. This is a structural problem, and understanding that is the first step to walking out of it. Let me show you exactly how a credit card keeps you stuck, because once you see the math, you can never unsee it. The average American carrying credit card debt owes about $7,886. Let's say your card charges 21% interest, the national average right now. Your minimum payment on a balance like that is roughly $130 to $160 a month. Sounds manageable, right? Here's the problem. At 21% interest, if you only pay the minimum each month, you are looking at over 7 years to pay that off, and you will pay roughly $3,600 in interest alone on top of the original debt. You'll essentially pay almost double what you originally borrowed. Double. According to the Wallet Hub 2026 credit card debt study, it would take over 7 years of minimum payments for the average person to pay off their total credit card bill, assuming no new purchases, and it would cost roughly $3,610 in interest. Now here's the part that really stings. More than 27 million Americans can only afford the minimum payment each month. 27 million people. Just the minimum. Which means those 27 million are basically paying an endless interest fee every single month and never actually getting out. The balance barely shrinks. It is like trying to empty a bathtub with a teaspoon while the faucet is still running. And here's the kicker. The rule that was supposed to protect you? The CFPB passed a rule that would have capped credit card late fees at just $8. Down from the current $30 to $41 you get charged when you miss a payment. That rule got killed in court in April 2025. Due to ongoing litigation, the $8 cap never went into effect. Banks still charge you $30 for your first late payment, and up to $41 if it happens again within 6 months. So you're trapped on three sides: high interest rates, high late fees if you slip, and minimum payments that barely make a dent. But here's the good news. There are real, legal, free, and government-supported ways to get out. Let's get into them. All right, let's talk real solutions. Not gimmicks, not call this one 800 number. Real strategies. 4 of them, from the easiest to the most powerful. Option 1. A balance transfer is one of the most powerful tools available to you right now, and most people don't use it because they don't know it exists, or they think it's complicated. It's not. Here's how it works. You apply for a new credit card that offers 0% APR for a set introductory period. You transfer your current debt onto that card. And for the entire introductory period, which in 2026 can be up to 21 months, you pay 0 interest. Every single dollar you pay goes toward the actual debt, not the bank's pocket. The top options offer 0% intro APR for up to 21 months on balance transfers with $0 annual fee. Real cards are available right now. There is one catch. Almost all balance transfer cards charge a transfer fee of 3% to 5% of whatever you move over. So if you transfer $5,000, you'll pay $150 to $250 up front as a fee. But here's the math on why it still makes sense. On a $5,000 balance at 21% interest, you'd pay roughly $900 in interest in a single year if you stay where you are. A 3% transfer fee is $150. You are trading $150 to avoid $900. That is an easy trade. Key rules if you do this. First, do not miss a single payment on the new card. One missed payment can end the 0% period immediately and trigger a penalty rate of 30% or higher. Second, do not add new purchases to the balance transfer card while you're paying it down. Third, go in with a clear payoff plan. Divide your balance by the number of months in the promo period and make that your monthly payment goal. Option 2, if you've got more than one card and you can't do a balance transfer right now, these 2 strategies are your roadmap. The debt avalanche works like this. You list all your credit cards by interest rate, highest to lowest. You pay the minimum on every card. But any extra money you have goes to the card with the highest interest rate first. Once that's paid off, you roll that payment into the next highest rate card. And so on. You'll save more on interest with the avalanche method. If you want to pay the least total money over time, the avalanche is the mathematically right choice. The debt snowball works like this. You list cards by balance, smallest to largest. You pay off the smallest one first, then roll that payment to the next. It's not the cheapest method on paper, but research shows that quick wins keep people motivated. The psychological hit of actually closing a credit card account can keep you going when the bigger balances feel overwhelming. The honest truth, the best method is the one you'll actually stick to. Pick one. Start this week. Option 3. This is the most underused option in America, and I want you to hear this clearly. You can call a nonprofit credit counseling agency and get real professional help for free. These are not scammers. These are government-approved, certified nonprofit organizations that have been around for decades. A debt management plan is one of the most effective tools available through nonprofit credit counselors and is a safer, less costly way to pay down debt. Here's what happens in a debt management plan. A certified counselor reviews your full financial picture. Then they go to your creditors on your behalf and negotiate. They can often get your interest rate reduced significantly, from 21% down to somewhere around 6% to 9% in many cases. You make one payment a month to the nonprofit. They split it and pay your creditors. You get out of debt in 3 to 5 years instead of 15 plus years making minimum payments. This is free. There's no credit score requirement to even get the consultation. You call, you talk, and you walk away with a real plan. Option 4. This one surprises people, but it is real. You can call the number on the back of your credit card and ask for a lower interest rate. And the numbers on this are genuinely encouraging. A recent LendingTree survey found that 84% of cardholders who requested an APR reduction were successful, with respondents reporting an average decrease of 6.3 percentage points. That is a real, meaningful drop. And yet, only 23% of cardholders have even tried asking. Here's what to say when you call. Hi, I've been a customer for X years. I'm working hard to pay down my balance, but the interest rate is making it difficult. Is there anything you can do to lower my rate? Banks would rather keep you as a paying customer than watch you transfer that balance to a competitor. It costs you nothing to ask. 5 minutes on the phone could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Okay, let me give you a simple, clear action plan. No jargon, just what to do in order. Step 1. Know your numbers. Pull out every credit card statement. Write down the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment for each card. You cannot fight what you cannot see. Step 2. Check your credit score. If your score is 670 or above, you likely qualify for a balance transfer card. Check your score for free at annualcreditreport.com. This is the only government-authorized free credit report site in the United States, backed by federal law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Step 3. Choose your strategy. If your credit score is 670 plus and you have 1 or 2 cards, look into a balance transfer card with 0% intro APR. If you have multiple cards and can't do a transfer, pick Avalanche or Snowball and get started this week. If you are overwhelmed, behind on payments, and have multiple cards, call the NFCC at 1-800-388-2227 for a free consultation. Step 4. Stop adding to the balance. This is not about blame. It's physics. You cannot fill a hole while you keep digging. If you have to use a card for a true emergency, that's life. But if you're using it for everyday purchases while trying to pay it down, the math won't work. Even switching daily spending to a debit card for 3 to 6 months changes the trajectory. Step 5. Automate your payment. Set your payment to the amount you decided, more than the minimum, and automate it. One missed payment can kill a balance transfer deal, add $30 to $41 in fees, and hurt your credit score all at the same time. Automate it and remove the risk. I want to leave you with something important. You did not end up here because you're bad with money. You ended up here because the system is designed this way. According to the official CFPB Consumer Credit Card Market Report submitted to Congress, in 2024, consumers were assessed $160 billion in interest charges, up from $105 billion in 2022, $160 billion in 1 year, more than 50% higher than just 2 years earlier. That money did not go to schools. It did not go to hospitals. It went to the same banks that lobbied to kill the $8 late fee cap, a rule that the CFPB estimated would have saved Americans $9 billion a year in junk fees alone. This is why understanding the rules matters. Not to be angry, but to know exactly where the exits are. And the exits are real. They exist. You don't need a lawyer, you don't need an accountant, and you don't need to pay a debt settlement company that charges you fees and wrecks your credit score. You need a plan. And now you have one. To recap what we covered today: 1. 111 million Americans are stuck in credit card debt at an average 21% interest rate right now, confirmed by official data. 2. Paying only the minimum on an average balance means you pay it off in over 7 years and hand the bank thousands in extra interest. 3. Your 4 real exits are balance transfer with 0% APR for up to 21 months, the Avalanche or Snowball method, a free nonprofit debt management plan through the NFCC, or a direct rate negotiation call where 84% of people who ask actually get a lower rate. 4. Start with annualcreditreport.com to pull your free credit report and call the NFCC at 1-800-388-2227. If you need a free counselor in your corner, you've got this. The math is beatable. You just needed to see the full picture first.